Hi everyone, Canoopsy here, and here's to the crazy ones. The now famous line part of Apple's now famous Think Different ad campaign was part of a push to position Apple and its Mac computers as the machines for creators, the makers, the pros, the ones who did things differently. We never had this focus on creativity for smartphones though, but without a doubt, the phone that is for the crazy ones or the creators is the Samsung Galaxy Note 10 Plus. This is a device in many ways, whether Samsung knows it or not, is almost the ultimate phone, the ultimate tool for mobile creativity. We'll talk more about that point shortly, but first, let's talk about some of the limitations and negatives this phone has and get those things out of the way. First up, no headphone jack. Now, I'm pretty much over it. I haven't used wired headphones in almost 4 years now. I'm just pretty much used to Bluetooth audio or using some sort of adapter if I need to, but for many people, it is pretty limiting. If you've invested in really good wired 3.5mm headphones, you can't really use them here unless you get an adapter, and there is no adapter in the box for some reason. The limitation for content creation is the many 3.5mm microphone accessories like lavaliers or plug-in microphones. They're not really going to work unless you get an adapter, and that's a whole thing, and it's annoying. Thankfully, this larger Note 10 Plus has a microSD card slot, but the smaller Note 10 doesn't have microSD storage for some reason. And of course, the price of this phone. This is an expensive device. We're talking like $1,100 US or almost $1,500 Canadian. There are of course ways you can get it for cheaper through your carrier or through Samsung directly, but either way, these phones cost money. So those are kind of limitations and negatives about the Note 10 Plus, but if those things don't really bother you, you're still on board, you're in for a treat because this phone is pretty amazing. So the biggest upgrade this year is of course the design. Bezels are gone, hole punch camera, the thing is curved, dripping edges, seamless design, IP68 water resistance. It's truly Samsung's greatest work of art. The whole front of the phone basically becomes your canvas, and the 6.8-inch display is the best I've ever seen, ever. Everything is sharp, colors look realistic, it's accurate and beautiful. The hole punch is barely noticeable during daily usage. It's not really a big deal. I forgot about it in like 5 minutes. It's really not a big deal at all. The fingerprint scanner isn't always that reliable, but the trick here is to just tap it and let it go quickly when you're scanning your finger in. Don't hold your finger in place, it just doesn't scan as well, and many people complain about the fingerprint scanner not working well, and that's because they're holding their finger in place and waiting. Tap, release. So the hole punch camera and the fingerprint scanner are not really big issues in my opinion, but the biggest issue here with the display is these curved edges. There's so many accidental presses that happen, it's such a pain, and to actually replace the display, it is pretty expensive because of the curved glass. The back of the phone is this reflective, beautiful glass finish that looks gross real quick with fingerprints. Whether it's the back of a CD Aura Glow color or Aura Black that trends to a dark blue in certain lights, it gets covered in fingerprints and eventually scratches. So you might want to pick up a skin from our channel sponsor D-Brands, link in the description. It's better than using a case because the phone feels amazing too. While the phone is very boxy and rectangular, it manages to be very comfortable to hold, and that's important because you're going to be using that S Pen. For the longest time I saw the S Pen as this really kind of gimmicky sort of useless tool. After I became a design student though, I saw the potential of having this stylus always with me on this device. But yeah, those new air gestures are definitely a complete gimmick though. Whether it's a design concept or just an idea for a YouTube thumbnail or photo, having the ability to whip out that pen and get my idea down is just amazing. Using your finger to draw things out is definitely a no for me, and having the precision of the stylus is just so much better than drawing with your finger. Also here, I don't have to even wake the phone up to draw things very quickly. I can just draw on the lock screen, the screen stays black, so if it's in the middle of the night, which does happen when I have just these random crazy ideas, I don't get blinded by this massive, super bright screen. It's a very useful feature. The whole S Pen implementation is amazing. The S Pen also works excellent as sort of a mouse for pointing and precise editing. It's just so much better than using your finger sometimes for precise work. Even if my drawings are not artist grade, which they're definitely not, just having the ability to draw something out, have it stored on my phone, which is always on me, is amazing. A great idea captured rough is better than a great idea just dying. Speaking of capturing great things, the cameras. The front camera takes some pretty good selfies with HDR, although I wish we had some sort of true wide-angle camera here, as the quality and image processing is amazing, but having a wide-angle camera for Instagram, or just getting a lot of people in the shot, or vlog-style videos, that would be legit. The rear cameras are also serious business. We have a 12 megapixel standard main camera, 16 megapixel wide camera, and a 12 megapixel telephoto camera. There's also this depth vision, depth sensing camera thing, and yeah, I'm not really going to use it. Photos with HDR look amazing here, and having that diversity with different lenses is fantastic and gives this phone the lead over the Pixel and the iPhone, at least until this fall. Although it is kind of the same set of cameras from the S10 series of phones, if not identical. The upcoming Galaxy S11 is rumored to have the biggest set of changes for the camera and bring some really big leap forward, so you may want to wait for that if the camera is your main priority. 4K video also looks beautiful coming from this phone, and once again, the different lenses allow for flexibility when filming. The wide-angle camera is especially great for getting yourself in the shot for vlog or first-person style shots. There's also this super steady stabilization mode for GoPro or gimbal-like footage, but it only shoots in 1080p, unfortunately. Samsung also did something kinda cool this year and added an in-camera video editor for very simple edits. You probably want to get something like Adobe Rush for more intensive things, but this is the job for very basic stuff on the go, like putting clips together, adding transitions, music, whatever. It's pretty solid. The rest of the Note 10 Plus is stuff you already pretty much expect. It has specifications that are flagship specifications. It is 2019. It's got tons of RAM, plenty of RAM, overkill amount of RAM. Everything you do here is lag-free, it's fast, it's a fucking insanely quick phone. You know it by now. But more importantly, the software on this phone is much more refined than any previous years, and it's still full of excellent features that are useful. All I've done to the software is really customize the look of it by adding Nova Launcher with a pixel icon pack, because I just prefer the overall look and animations from Nova Launcher and the icons from the Pixel pack. The main features that make this phone incredible for creative work with software is split screen and floating window multitasking, letting you get your shit done while watching videos or doing other things. It's amazing to have split screen windows, especially the amount of flexibility that Samsung gives you with multitasking. And of course, Samsung DeX. Plug your phone into any monitor, USB-C directly into the device, or HDMI with an adapter, or even plug it into your computer with the companion app and you get a desktop-like experience coming from your phone. It's pretty awesome. It feels like the future and lets you almost use your phone for your main computer. It's great for watching videos on a larger screen, great for editing photos or video clips, or just having fun on your phone doing whatever you do on a bigger desktop-like screen with multitasking. And of course, running the whole show for all your work is a huge 4300 mAh battery, the biggest in any Note device. It lasts me a full day well into the next day after lunchtime around like 2 o'clock or so. It's a pretty solid phone for battery life. And this battery life is with heavy video watching, social media, taking photos, especially during this review period, editing, all that kind of stuff. And with the fast charger and wireless charging, you're good for top-ups, of course. And if you want to be nice, you can also help out your friends or your other devices with their battery woes with reverse charging. Turn it on and put any Qi-enabled device on the back of the phone and reverse charging. That's it. It's more useful than you think. So the Note 10 Plus packs everything into a device. It has all the features you could ever want and stuff you're never even going to use or touch ever, but it's still there. And when looking at the device from a creator's point of view, it kind of has everything that makes it into a creative dream tool, except a somewhat larger device ecosystem, kind of like what Apple has. But before you run out and actually buy this phone, just keep this in mind. The Galaxy Note 9 does absolutely everything the Note 10 can do, except it's less pretty, lacks a few features, but it is a lot cheaper. If you don't need the pen, the S10 Plus is a Note without a pen, basically straight up. And also it's a lot cheaper too. In the end, the decision is up to you about which phone you want to buy, but if you're looking for a king among smartphones that is amazing for daily use and for the more crazy things, and you can justify its heavy price, the Note 10 Plus is a true legend. So what do you think of the Galaxy Note 10 Plus? Is this the phone for you? Is it too expensive? Is it missing too many features? Does it cost too much? Is it the ultimate creative tool? Tell me in the comments, and thank you for watching.